May I come in, sir?
Yes, come.
Good evening, sir. Good evening,
Please,
sir.
please take a seat.
Thank you.
Shubham,
Yes, sir.
can we do without the mask, Shubham,
Yes,
for a few minutes? Shubham comes from Rajasthan
yes,
and you studied in IIT
yes.
and you love to play lawn tennis. Wonderful.
Not actually playing.
You watching?
Watching,
Like
mostly
following
following.
it on TV.
No, sir. Actually, not. Actually, the matches are very long. Usually, it's about 5 hours for a 5 hours match almost.
So nobody watches the full match?
So actually, usually I follow on the stats on the.
Statistics, etc.
Yes.
Okay, I'll talk about that, but much later. I want to start with you with the simplest of questions, for which no preparation, no study was ever required. We are living in a huge country with tremendous assets in various forms and lots of problems also. My first question to you is the simplest of questions, but my question is a little demanding. Just listen to me carefully. The question is, what are the top three problems of India? Answer just in a bullet point 1, 2, 3. With one line, explaining it in one line each. And the most important one should be at number one, go in the decreasing order of importance. Start.
Sir, first thing I think is the economy.
Sorry?
First thing I think is the economy.
Economy.
Which I would say in the terms that the money is distributed to the persons in an unequal manner.
In
Unequal manner.
unequal distribution of money
Yes.
is a problem.
Yes.
One.
Okay. The second one is I think is maybe not much in the importance, but in the case of literacy, but not.
Be specific. I said bullet point answers. Okay. Don't explain it. Okay. Explain it later. First tell me the problem.
Actually, I don't know the exact word of that.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, but the literacy as it defined,
Literacy.
but not having the understanding of whole law, how the government works and all, but having the literacy of reading number, understanding of the
So
writing.
literacy effectively not good enough.
Not in the terms as in what is defined as the definition
Something
that we
to
say.
do with education.
Right.
Okay, fine.
Third thing is I think is meritocracy. Meritocracy in the terms
Means?
Meritocracy meaning we give the positions in the terms of the what the person scores in the exam or something. Like in this exam itself, where a person who scores highest.
So where is the problem in this?
Actually, I think it's the system.
What is the problem?
I think the problem there
It should not be there.
Let me explain, please. Actually, the problem is because people come from different backgrounds. Everybody struggles different ways.
So,
people who is coming
so
from.
what do you want? What it should be? It should be by draw of lots.
No, sir. Actually,
different backgrounds
actually,
taken care of.
I also done.
We have. I don't think any country in the world is there which has more reservation than in our country. So it is taken care of.
No, sir, not exactly.
People you can increase the percentage of reservation.
No, sir. Even if the person who are from general category are suffering because of the low income, but still they are not.
EWS is there.
EWS is there, but it doesn't cover entire.
Anyway, let's not go into that. My purpose of my question was different. Now you have defined your three problems.
Yes, sir.
Actually, this is a question which was floated amongst the top citizens of the country by a group.
Okay.
Not in the government, but something like a welfare group, people who think about the future of India, to the intelligentsia of the country, the top IITians, IIM people, the doctors, the professionals, the businessmen, the politicians. This question was floated to them. All of them, they gave their answers 1, 2, 3 in that sequence. And the consensus of that was a little different from yours. I'm telling you what was their consensus. Their problems were, number 1, population. Number 2, poverty. And number 3, the same as was your number 1, discrepancy in income. Now think over this 1, 2, 3 of the consensus of the people in the context of your answer, and I'm giving you another chance if you want to modify your answer and then give your revised list of 1, 2, 3.
Actually, sir, I would like to just change the third number, meritocracy, with the first number that they have seen. Otherwise, I'll keep my order as the same.
What was the
Because
second
I
one?
think, for mine,
What was the second one?
literacy, sir. Literacy. First one was unequal distribution of income.
Ah,
Second is the literacy one.
literacy.
And third one is I'll keep it as population. Because I think
Third
that,
is population.
because I think, sir, with enough education, enough understanding, large amount of population can be managed, sir. It should not be the first one.
With education.
Yes.
Okay. Why are you not bothered about the poverty?
And so I'm bothered about the poverty. That's why I said the first one is unequal distribution of the money.
No, that is unequal distribution. Poverty is poverty. By redistributing poverty, nothing much is served. The purpose is not served. By poverty, what I mean, I can give you an example. Very low per capita income. India is one of the lowest in the world.
Yes. Actually, I
So
think
even if, and per capita means equal. When we work out per capita, we simply divide it.
right.
So is it not a big problem?
Yes, sir, it is a big problem. I think,
How literacy comes into the picture?
sir, if person is having good knowledge, he can make money.
Far from it. We have 20 lakh unemployed engineers because there are no jobs. On the contrary, the standard of education is below average in Gujarat. Prosperity is high. Nothing to do with education.
Then I don't understand that.
Anyway,
Maybe
last
it's
question.
about the mentality of the person.
Tennis. When did which were the occasions that India reached the final of the Davis Cup? Historic occasions.
Davis Cup.
These have been historic occasions.
Sorry, sir.
Very few. No.
I think, but
Okay.
it was with
Who are the Indian players who have won, who have come first at any event in Wimbledon?
Wimbledon.
Singles, not doubles. Doubles, we have so many.
Okay.
Singles only. No idea.
No, sir.
When you write a topic like this, be prepared.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, can you tell me what is the difference between centering and shuttering?
Centering and shuttering, I think it's one of the form work that is applied to slabs and slabs, columns, foundations. And centering, I would say it's usually used in surveying for the,
No, these are the same words used for same centering and shuttering.
okay, then I understand that much only.
What do you understand by props?
So props are the vertical, maybe made of the steel and maybe of the boards used in formworks.
When you can remove these props for a slab, suppose the span of the slab is 5 meter.
If it is 5 meter, I think the duration is 14 days.
14 days.
Yes.
And what about for beams?
For beams, it is 21 days. No, for if it is of 5 meter length, then it is of 14 days only.
14 days.
Right.
Okay. Suppose you are posted in a department like CPWD and you have to award a work. So what are the steps before awarding a work?
Sir, first I'll make an estimation of the whole work, as in based on if I want to make the specific design by myself, as in what is the guidelines by the government. So we'll make analysis of that, and accordingly we can float the tender. Or maybe in the other case where we want the design also to be done by proposed by the companies.
What type of estimate you will prepare for tendering process?
So there are different kind of estimates. First one, we can do the maybe in the terms of money that we can calculate based on our list of quantities and schedule of rates. Then accordingly we can have the quote by various tenders. Also we can float it in terms of the item rate contract, where we give the items, list of items and with the particular rates, and wherein the tendering contractor will have to quote his cost against whatever the cost we say. And but I think in terms of the selection,
What is difference between item rate tender and percentage rate tender?
sir, item rate tender में in item rate tender I, in particular item के against we'll have to give the rates by the contract, but in the terms of the percentage rate contract, on the whole of the whole project is the whole project की cost जितनी आ रही है उसके against he will have to quote he is going higher than that, how much percent higher and how much percent lower.
Okay, fine. Suppose on a particular day you have casted 210 cubic meter of concrete. So how many samples you will collect for cube test?
So sir, actually it's from the table. I'm not able to remember the
You
table.
are not able to recall. Okay. Suppose your cube test have failed. It is not coming according to the Indian standard acceptance criteria. Then what to do?
So there is a procedure we have to follow at the practical side. Maybe core cutting, but I am not able to remember the exact process because there is we'll have to cut out the, maybe it has been casted already, and then I don't know, sir. Sorry.
You don't know. Okay, fine. What is characteristic load?
Characteristic load, it is calculated from the various in standard from 875 part 1, part 2, part 3.
What does it mean?
Means, sir, for the 95% of the time, load will be under this, and for the 5% of the time, it can be exceeded.
Okay, fine.
Shubham,
Yes.
very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, what is the water content of soil?
So, water content of the soil is defined as the mass of water on mass of soil solids.
Yeah, weight of water by weight of solids.
Maybe and the weight, we multiply by the gravitational acceleration, which will ultimately cancel out.
Okay. So, what are the index properties of fine-grained soils?
There are various properties: shrinkage limit, plastic limit, liquid limit, then plastic index, liquid index, then
Plastic index or plasticity index?
sorry, plasticity index. Sorry. Then there is a consistency index, liquidity index.
How will you define shrinkage ratio?
Sorry, sir. I'm not.
You are not able to. How will you define shrinkage limit?
So shrinkage limit actually will have to plot a curve between water content versus
Draw.
volume. May I use this, sir?
Yes. But fast, don't take much time.
So there are methods for calculating plastic limit, liquid limits, and
I'm asking shrinkage
Shrinkage-
limit. Define shrinkage limit.
the shrinkage limit is defined as that amount of water content below which the volume of the soil mass will not change because
Why?
of decrement in the water content.
Why? Why there is no change in volume of the soil
Because-
below shrinkage limit?
So shrinkage limit at the time of shrinkage limit, the voids are, although in the plastic limit, liquid limit also they are completely saturated, but below this when we go the water when we heat it, the water goes away from the pores, but still the size of pores remains same. That's why the volume of the soil mass does not decrease.
That is not the reason. That is not the reason. Okay, you tell me at liquid limit of soil, every soil reports the same value of shear strength.
Yes.
Every soil. What is the reason? What is the value of that shear strength?
So shear strength at that at the liquid limit is 2.7 kilonewton per meter square.
Almost. Almost, not exact, but yes.
Then actually it's the basis of the test that we use is in the 25 number of blows.
No, I'm not interested. I'm just interested to know why every soil reports the same value of shear strength.
I think it's because of that only, sir. Because we have defined in the terms of the test. Otherwise the value could have been other way also. So we have come to that 2.7.
Okay, now I am giving you a situation. If certain soil is having higher value of plasticity index, so how can you interpret in terms of mineralogy which types of minerals it may be?
If it is having high value of liquid, so
High value of
plasticity index, then it would be having more amount of Montmorillonite.
Montmorillonite, fine, good. So in Montmorillonite, which type of bond is there?
So, water bond होता है.
Water bond होता है. And what is the length of that bond? Bond length कितनी होती है?
Sorry, sir. I think I'm not able to exactly recall, but around 1 angstrom होती है. 1 angstrom. Because one side 9, one side 9, then another side 9. Overall 30. Then I think maybe 1 or 1.5.
You are not sure.
No, sir.
What is smectite?
Smectite is, I think, it's another name for the Montmorillonite.
Another name of. Okay. This is all about clay.
Yes.
Now I am switching to sand. Right? Sand is having which type of mineral?
Sand में I think basically quartz and all, quartz and different kind of salts, feldspar
No,
like.
there is one more mineral in quartz and
Probably feldspar is also there.
और भी है. अच्छा, sand और sandstone में क्या फर्क है?
So sand is the sandstone एक rock है and उसी को अगर हम break कर दें fine pieces में तो it will become sand.
ठीक है. Properties same होगी या different होगी?
Properties different होगी.
मैं कहता हूँ same ही होगी property.
I think वो analysis तो दोनों का अलग जाएगा ना. वो एक rock है, एक वो sand
इससे
है.
क्या फर्क पड़ता है? What do you mean by physical weathering and what do you mean by chemical weathering of rocks?
So physical weathering would mean by the action of the rolling down or maybe by the wind, but in the case of chemical weathering, it will be the chemical action based on the whatever the chemical coming along with the water.
Which type of soils are formed due to chemical weathering?
Usually lime name याद नहीं sir.
Okay. Suppose there is a soil deposit, right? And above that soil deposit there is some overburden, right? And we have removed those overburden. So what type of soil it will be now? Means clay soil I am talking about. कैसा हो जाएगा वो?
See, over consolidated soil हो जाएगी ये.
Over consolidated हो जाएगा. Okay. So what is the impact of over consolidation ratio on shear strength of soil?
The shear strength of that soil will increase because of the over consolidation.
Will increase. Can you write the modified shear strength equations which was given by Terzaghi? What you have written?
Shear strength equal to sigma n bar tan phi dash plus c dash.
Plus C dash. Okay. Can you write the interrelationship between the principal stresses at failure?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Sigma
This,
y.
okay, fine. This 10 square 45 plus 5 by 2 is some factor. What is that factor?
I don't remember actually, sir. It is derived from the assumption that the shear failure occurs at the plane where the angle of repose is maximum.
Angle of repose is maximum.
Right. From there only this equation comes.
Okay. Why? So my next question, as you were told, I was not intending. Why the shear does not, soil does not fail at maximum shear stress? Rather, it fails where the ratio of shear stress to normal stress is maximum.
May I, sir, explain this with the diagrams?
Oh, yeah.
So I think it is a combination of this equation with that I will be using for the explanation. Actually, if I plot this diagram, usually if I assume it to be a ascent where C dash will become 0. More easy for me to explain then. If I take this plane will be having the maximum shear stress. But the shear strength of this plane will be this value, which is higher than this.
Means you mean to say that available shear strength is more.
At every other place, shear strength is more, but shear stress is lesser. But at this plane, shear
Both is
stress
same.
becomes equal to shear strength.
That's why. That's correct. That's very good. What is K naught?
Maybe are you talking about the permeability, sir?
K naught एक टर्म है सॉइल में. अर्थ प्रेशर एट रेस्ट कोएफिशिएंट क्या होता है? जस्ट बता दीजिए मुझे, एक्सप्लेनेशन कीजिए.
Okay. It is defined as sigma horizontal upon sigma vertical at the rest.
क्यों निकालते हैं? एट रेस्ट में तो कहीं कोई मूवमेंट है ही नहीं, कोई मूवमेंट तो है नहीं. देयर इज नो मूवमेंट ऑफ वॉल. व्हाई वी फाइंड के नॉट? केपी केस तो ठीक है, देयर इज मूवमेंट ऑफ वॉल विद रिस्पेक्ट टू बैकफिल. के नॉट में तो कुछ मूवमेंट ही नहीं है.
सर जैसे इन अपार्टमेंट स्ट्रक्चर्स, अपार्टमेंट की जो रिटेनिंग वॉल्स होती हैं, इन दैट केस दैट रिटेनिंग वॉल उसकी जो रिटेनिंग वॉल जो है वो मूवमेंट कंडीशन में नहीं होती है, तो उस केस में हमको वो उसको ओवर डिजाइन नहीं करना चाहिए एज्यूमिंग एज पैसिव अर्थ प्रेशर. तो एट दैट केस हमको अगर हम रेस्ट कंडीशन पर करते हुए डिजाइन करेंगे तो हमारे लिए ज़्यादा इकोनॉमिकल रहेगा.
My last question, what is the depth of unsupported cut? Just to write the expression for pure clay.
For pure clay. 4C by command root case.
Sir, Shubham, you have worked as assistant engineer in National Water Development Agency.
Yes.
And then you left that job and you are now working as scientist in Bureau of Indian Standards.
Yes.
Good. Now in National Water Development Agency, what was your role?
What was mine?
What was your role? What job were you looking after?
Actually, sir, I was posted in the headquarters, so most of the work was related to the answering of parliamentary questions and having a look out on what is the progress of the various works with respect to various field projects.
Various?
Field projects.
Field projects. Okay. What type of field projects does National Water Development Agency execute?
So, National Water Development Agency, actually, it was formulated in 1982 to prepare the DPRs of 30 interlinking projects.
13?
30.
30 interlinking projects.
Inter-river linking projects identified under National Perspective Plan. Out of those 30 interlinking projects, during my work time, we had formulated about 25 of them. But the issue was the funding of all of them. So out of that, government has chosen only one, which is Ken-Betwa link project. It's in the highlights now, and it will provide it will solve the problems of the water scarcity in the Bundelkhand region of UP and MP. Then actually, the main issue regarding this is the funding. It's in this Ken-Betwa interlinking projects also the funding ratio is distributed in the ratio of 90.
I wanted to ask whether they execute these projects or they prepare only DPR.
Only DPRs.
So DPR is prepared in-house or they outsource it to some consultancy firm?
To some extent, we prepare by ourselves. To some extent, where it is very much difficult for us to do, where then we take the help of others.
Okay. So you said that Ken-Betwa link is under execution?
Not execution, sir.
It's in pipeline, is to be executed. The
Actually, there is
clearance
a lot of reforms are going there now. Right now, they are proposing actually to form a Ken-based authority to execute this project. But at the same time, they are saying we can also amalgamate a National Water Development Agency along with some departments of the Ministry of Jal Shakti into National Interlinking River Authority, so that the execution plus planning can go hand in hand.
All right. In Ken-Betwa link, which river is having excess water? There must be certain
Ken River.
Ken river is having excess water as compared to Betwa.
Yes.
So water from Ken will be transmitted to
Betwa
Betwa
Basin.
Basin. Okay. Now, what are the environmental impact of such projects?
So mostly thing is we have to do lots of construction here, and also in this project, Panna Tiger Reserve, most of the area of the Panna Tiger Reserve, around 4,000 hectare, it is said that it will come under submersion. Because of this, there will be high amount of loss of biodiversity. So this is one of the regions. If we account that, its benefit to cost ratio will become less than 1. But if we don't account that, it will become 1.5. This
So
is
do
one
you
of the.
think that government should ignore such environmental impact and go
Yes,
ahead?
actually, in the alternative proposal that we have provided in this is that will provide a separate area for the whatever the area is coming under submersion. Actually, double of that area will provide. On the right, actually left side is coming on the submersion. The right side will provide double area for that. But anyway, sir, for the development, we'll have to go over this. We are proposing the idea. They are proposing the idea, but
Okay. Okay. And as a scientist in Bureau of Indian Standard, what is your role?
as in scientist, I given the two committees in Bureau of Indian Standards. First is sanitary and water sanitation, and second is public health engineering, which deals with the making of the Indian standards in the field of sewers and water supply. First one is in the field of plumbing products. Regarding that, there is one upcoming in development that we have is the development. We are going to give the star rating on the various plumbing products like urinals, walls, so that where we are using the earlier we were using the 10 liters for a particular system. There we can be with the 3-star rated product, we will be able to use even 4 liters for a single flush. So they will with this amount 66.67%.
Water can be conserved. Okay. Okay. That will be all from my side, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The interview is over. We'll call you again for the feedback.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Shubham, wait here. You have appeared before UPSC earlier?
Yes, sir.
How many marks you got?
Actually, I got very less marks in the interview.
Really?
Yes, sir.
You have done well here today. How many marks you got?
98, sir.
98.
That was the main reason I was
Okay,
not
today you're satisfied with your performance?
not exactly.
No? If you were to give your marks to yourself today, how many you would give? I'll compare your marks. We have already written. I will.
Maybe 105, 108.
Don't be so underconfident.
Not exactly, actually, sir. Last
We
year
have
also
given
I
you,
tried
see,
so
we have
much.
given you 130. You've done well. And we are not giving marks because you are from IIT. Nothing. There's no such consideration in interview. You know that. UPSC has already taught you that. So you have done well. My colleagues will tell you a couple of small things about technical things just to strengthen you more and to give you more confidence. I think you need to have more confidence because
Yes, sir.
of last year's marks. Forget about that. Every year is a fresh year in UPSC. They do not know about your last year's track record. They do not know about your performance in the written. They are very objective. Right? So just go there with a free mind that you are going to do well. Can you change the color of the tie a little?
Yes,
I think it's a little too bright for the occasion, for a formal occasion like this one, right? And at times, particularly in answering to him, Too much of hand movement, which is not really required, unnecessary. Unless you need your hands to explain something, just keep it down. Because sometimes it tends to become a little artificial. So try to avoid that. Why I'm telling you this these are small things. May not matter at all. But it could be very unnerving for some candidate if somebody in the board remarks, "आप हाथ क्यों हिला रहे हैं?" Suppose, and sometimes they do it just to test your nerves. Psychologists also sometimes is there in the board.
So if they ask, then what should I give the answer?
If it happens, सबसे पहले तो sorry, little apologetically, maybe it's a habit. I'll try my best to get over it. Whenever you make a mistake, first thing is to admit it. The second thing is make a promise that I'll be a quick learner to get over the mistake, because that's what they're looking for. When they're recruiting a person for the government, it is a job to be given for next 35, 40 years. So they want people who are ready to accept and who are ready to improve. These are very good qualities for an interview. And when you write a hobby like lawn tennis, why don't you read it? It won't take you not more than 2 hours to read everything from the net.
Actually, sir, I don't have that much of the time. With
What can be asked, I'll take you. From Indian tennis, historically, starting from Ramanathan Krishnan to Sania Mirza, and international tennis, contemporary, but including the top records like Grand Slam winners. That is all 4 Grand Slams in a year, calendar year, and all that. You know that. So these are the basic, plus a couple of rules about tennis. There have been not been any recent changes in the rules, but the basic rules.
शुभम,
Yes.
वैसे आपने अच्छा किया, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, यू आर डूइंग वेल. From my side, I will suggest you, because you are working in Indian standard, na? Bureau of Indian Standard, prepare a complete list of different Indian standards that are used in different area of civil engineering, right? Because they may ask you some particular Indian standard, और चीज़ें जो है, जो मेन कोड्स हैं, उनको थोड़ा पढ़ के जाना अच्छे से, राइट? जो मेन, जो जैसे आरसीसी का कोड हो गया, स्टील का कोड हो गया, तो यू मे बी आस्क मोर क्वेश्चंस if they see that area you are working in Indian standard, and what is your role in Bureau of Indian Standard, that you have to prepare. Okay. बाकी ठीक है, बाकी you keep your confidence, whatever sir has told you, it's okay, that's fine.
So Shubham, very quick suggestion from my side, as you have worked with NWDA, so naturally NRLP is very important. Go through it, right? All the links which is contemplated, or some Krishna Godavari and all which is in DPR stage, right? अच्छे ढंग से, because that is very hot topic, right? ILR, interbasin transfer of water, same thing. Dam rehabilitation and implementation program, DRIP, and dam safety bin, newly introduced, very important. And new water policy, which has been brought by the government, right? Sustainable water management.
It's actually because of that only I highlighted the star rating of the plumbing products.
Okay, right? And integrated water resource management. These terms are climate change. This is अच्छे ढंग से आप देख लीजिए. You can do well.
शुभम, एवरीथिंग इज फाइन. जहाँ आपको जवाब मालूम है, वहाँ पर भी आप कुछ सेकंड 2 सेकंड का पॉज लेकर उसको फॉर्मुलेट करके फिर जवाब दें. जहाँ आपको जवाब मालूम है, आप तुरंत जवाब देने को तैयार हो जा रहे हैं. उसमें हो ये रहा है कि शुरुआत आप कहीं से कर रहे हैं, फिर उसको ब्रेक करके पीछे जा रहे हैं, फिर उसको कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं. तो कुछ रिपीटेटिव हो रहा है, कुछ रीफॉर्मुलेशन हो रहा है. जैसे इन्वायरमेंटल इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट वाला पूछा, तो आप शुरुआत में कुछ और बताना चाह रहे थे, फिर कुछ और आपने बताया. तो वो चीज़ें पहले फॉर्मुलेट कर लें. सेकंड 2 सेकंड आपको ऑलरेडी मालूम है, पढ़ा हुआ है. सेकंड 2 सेकंड का पॉज लेकर फॉर्मुलेट कर लीजिए, देन फाइनली डिलीवर इट, एंड देन डिलीवर इट फ्लुएंटली. ठीक, उसमें कोई फिर रीफॉर्मुलेशन उस स्टेज पर नहीं होना चाहिए. ठीक, टेक्निकल जैसा सर लोगों ने बताया वैसा आप रिवाइज करें, और करंट जॉब प्रोफाइल पर जरूर ध्यान रखिए, इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू. ठीक, ब्यूरो ऑफ इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड.
सर मुझे एक पूछना है, वो मेरिटोक्रेसी अगर मैं
Meritocracy is just not the part of an important problem. First of all, according to me, is not a problem at all. Because the next question they are bound to ask you is, what alternative do you want? In place
Actually,
of meritocracy, it will be difficult to just,
that is the main
extremely difficult for you to give an answer to that. So don't get into that. Because this question is asked purely from the point of view of a government setup, a government officer. What are the problems of the people?
Right.
So, for a poor country, you cannot avoid poverty. You cannot. Otherwise, it will appear to be an artificial answer.
Right.
Do not give I have asked this question earlier also. Many people say environment is a major problem. It is a problem, but it's not a top problem for India.
It's not a top.
It may be a top problem for Europe,
Yes.
not India.
Okay.
Here people are dying of hunger. That hunger is the main problem here. Good food is the main problem. You have to be down to earth on that. That's why the question is asked. And the second purpose of the asking question where you did well is, that's why I made a hypothetical statement that a survey was done and a consensus was drawn. Just to see the adaptability of the candidate, whether you are ready to change your opinion or not. 80% candidates stick to it. You know what I've said, I'll not change it. They think that by changing it, they will be called indecisive. No. Okay. Willingness to learn, being adaptable are absolutely essential qualities for working in the government. Otherwise, you will be called too stubborn an officer and moved to the side, not kept in the mainstream of the government. Just remember that. But you did well on that because you changed at least one out of three.
Yeah, I wanted to change the meritocracy because I didn't have counterpoint.
That was a good point. I give you marks for that. Okay, all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well,
Thanks.